Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Virgo. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with regards to your first half of February 2021. And just a quick heads up for all y'all out there, should you be curious about the effects of the full moon in Leo and what that will be doing for this 2 weeks, you might want to check out the video that I put up earlier this last week. I actually decided that it needed to be its own video. You can click on my avatar beneath this video and go and check that out yourself after this read. Just a quick heads up, I did purposefully, as it with intent, design that video so that people would watch the first half and then go click around. If you're clicking around all willy-nilly, it's not going to make sense, okay? The first half of the video is where I really go into detail about what all the planets and aspects are doing, and so without that, the second half doesn't work, okay? Just keep that in mind. So what is going on when it comes to this first week of this bi-weekly read? Well, the main theme that is going on is the Two of Wands reverse. So this is a big spiritual focus that's going to be affecting all areas of your life. With the Two of Wands reversed, this is a time where a lot of you Virgo people are going to be doing a lot of fixing, especially when it comes to realigning and refining situations in your life that maybe have been stifled or maybe maligned by certain misunderstandings, certain projections or assumptions that may be going on, especially with regards to people not quite understanding what is happening with what they're doing with you, certain co-creation efforts, teamwork, or maybe things going on in your field, with your job. Because the Two of Wands reversed is all about where do we need to fix misinterpretations? Where can we actually get things back on track where a certain belief or maybe a certain misunderstanding has kind of taken it down a road or started to take it down a road it should not be on. This can actually be a very, very advantageous time for a lot of you Virgo people, especially when it comes to stepping in and actually reforming and refining and restructuring things that maybe got into a bit of a tailspin or lost their way in your life. And you're going to be doing a great deal of this. You've got a lot of power, a lot of resources, and a lot of influence that's coming to back you up in this effort this week. Make sure you let yourself do some problem solving, however that problem solving works. Now, whether it's providing creative solutions where you are, or actually taking your energy, your life's work, your efforts, your power, and your passion to a space where it would be better held, and then allow that to be the creative solution for any and all willing and ready to take part in it, you will have your backup. As we get on to your material shifts, what's going on with your work, your job, your finances, your personal abundance, living situation, all practical affairs, you've got the Seven of Wands upright. And when we talk about backup, this is like your gear score is going up in a huge way this week. You are getting equipped with so many new sources, so much new revenue. And I think that, yes, material resources, money flowing in abundance is a big part of this, because we're actually seeing you step into a place from maybe being, I would say maybe actually waiting your turn, or maybe not necessarily waiting your turn, but of course kind of plugging away with, in your own lane into a place where you are actually stepping into a position where, you are not only more flush with money, but you're actually able to start tackling initiatives, tackling obstacles, tackling big moves that maybe you have had to wait to tackle, or maybe even start launching things, getting off the ground, maybe even starting to get recognition, credit, a bit of fame for things that, in the past or in recent history, people were not necessarily ready for. The Seven of Wands is putting you in the driver's seat by actually giving you a heck of a lot with which to completely reorder your physical reality, your practical universe. It's like getting a big win that is allowing you to start reshaping everything so that is a more perfect reflection of where you actually are, or what your true desires are with your job, your work, again, your living conditions. A lot of you may be finding that a new job opportunity, a new service is really taking off, providing you more than you could have estimated. Some of you may be finding that things that other people or were not ready for are suddenly very in. You may be getting a lot more recognition in that respect. But again, even just in the commodity of money, and I feel this, is you're going to be stepping into a space where you are going to have more than you're used to knowing what to deal with. Or do with, excuse me. And whether that's, I feel like it's it's advantage Virgo. I'll put it that way. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, other people in your life, you've got the Devil upright. Again, this is your community. We're talking about platonic connections. I feel like a lot of you Virgo people may have to confront either a systemic issue or possibly something going on in your community head on, but you are not necessarily confronting it in a way as to impose your will upon this person or these family members or this group or this community, whatever's happening there. But with the Devil, you're only confronting it to reveal for what it is. You have no control, right? And you don't want that. You don't want to control what other people think, do, how they behave, how they react. But with the Devil card, there is something that is showing up that you have to sort of confront and, of course, let be known for what it is. Now, it could be something going on where a person is maybe succumbing to a certain influence, or a community is getting maligned by a certain influence or a certain vice or compulsion. It's not exactly an easy thing to deal with, but with that Two of Wands reversed, in the interest of refining and realigning, we also have to know where, again, the higher experience is not, right? And I think that revelation is going to be there, and you're going to have to stand up and kind of show, okay, I'm going to show you what is possible. I'm going to show you where the healthy, the functional, and the high vibe really is. But I'm also going to let you know that just from just the looks of what the yield is, this is not it. And confronting this may involve you taking some space or redrawing some boundaries as well with certain friends or family members, okay? So just be ready for that. As we get on to your challenge, interestingly enough, we actually have the Strength card upright. Yes, championing health, championing function, championing that which is in harmony and in balance, making sure that you are making that as a priority, right? Not allowing things that are dysfunctional, disharmonious, toxic to just sort of establish a foothold in what you are creating. And with the Two of Wands reversed, you may be booting some of that out of your space. You may be taking your work, your business, your efforts, your interest elsewhere. And with the Strength card upright, that's perfectly fine. With that Devil card upright, it may be, again, that this does not necessarily, this is not easily comprehended by other people, especially with those who might feel like you're responsible for holding the space for health while they hold the space for toxicity. But it's your time to step away from something that is actually going downhill or maybe going over a cliff, right? You put your journey, your health, your balance, that integrity first, right? We're not faking anything, right? Be authentic. The time of memes and, photo filters is over. Just make sure that true health and function is where it's at for you, not trying to placate or pander to or patronize what is not healthy. Because that's going to be a big part of that, confronting that devil energy, I think. As we get on to your relationships with love and romance and partnerships and all of that, you got the Two of Swords upright. This is going to be a very eye-opening week. It's going to be one, however, where you Virgo people have got to make sure that you don't rush into any kind of new undertaking or new commitment in a haphazard way, because a lot of crossroads, a lot of options are going to be showing up for you, especially when it comes to where you want to include or, again, collaborate, shack up, or share your life. With the Two of Swords upright, I'm seeing a lot of you who are available to new partners having not only plenty of options show up, but plenty of strong options show up. But it's about finding what is the most clear and compatible match. And you want to make sure that you are allowing these chemistries and this rapport to develop with each so you can make an informed decision. It might be very tempting to rush in. Please don't. For those of you who are currently in existing unions, this may actually be where we as a couple come to a bit of a crossroads with where we want to take our next step. And it's important to give all of our options that consideration and stay neutral. We don't want to have to go through the buyer's remorse or the committer's remorse because we felt we needed to rush into a living situation and find out we moved to the wrong community, or we found out that we, maybe put our kid in the wrong school, or we decided to make an adjustment to our schedule or what we're doing with our family or where we're taking this relationship, in a hurry. The false sense of security and the endorphin rush that can come sometimes from just locking down a commitment is not a temptation you want to succumb to right now. Okay? Allow these things to unfold naturally. The Two of Swords is saying, stay neutral. As we get on to week number 2, the big focus is the Emperor upright. And a lot of you Virgo people are stepping into a space where not only are you coming into more power and influence and prestige in your field, not in an ego way. We're not talking about egotism. We're just talking about the ability to do work, the ability to serve and have a positive effect. The Emperor is also indicating that you are inheriting a lot of power and influence throughout the second week. Now, whether this is coming through those that are, esteemed characters in your field, in your family, in your community, those that maybe have been seen as authorities or whatever reason, you are now getting pulled into a space where you have that power as well with which to, of course, shape and influence the world around you. And you are going to be noticing that there is a bit of deference that is being given to you, whether you want it or not. I personally do not like it when people give that kind of deference to me, but as a Virgo, I will cope. I will do it. I will accept it and work with it responsibly. Sometimes working with it responsibly means, no, please don't give me your deference. And sometimes working with it responsibly is, okay, look, you're counting on, a decision, or you're counting on an application of power or energy here. Let's see what we can co-create together. The Emperor card is going to be basically setting the tone for how the rest of February evolves for you. It's a very powerful promotional card, like the Seven of Wands we talked about in week 1. For your material shifts, what's going on with your work, your finances, and your job in week 2, you've got the Death card upright. And I'm seeing a lot of you Virgo people deciding that you are going to step out of either a commitment or maybe something that you have been holding onto or locked into. This may actually be because we are able to free ourselves from either a professional or financial or social obligation. And because of all of these new sources, all of this new stuff coming our way, a lot of you may actually decide that this gives you the freedom to actually eliminate something from your priority list. Some of you may be finding a better job opportunity or a better role with which to transfer to or to put in your notice with your current job in order to step into, creating a death-like experience in that respect. And some of you may also be finding that this death card is changing your ability, changing your presence and your reputation in your field and your community in a way where, again, you are leaving an old self behind because of this prestigious and more expansive new you is now becoming more well-known and accepted here, thus raising the value of your work and the abundance that is coming into you going forward. As we get on to your social life, your community, friends and relatives and other people, again, platonic support system, well, you've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And it does look like some of you may actually be withdrawing from either a joint effort or maybe a financial or business collaboration or a group affiliation that could be a carryover from that Devil card energy, is just not substantiating the shifts that you want to see, or that it's not getting off the ground, or you realize that you do not want to be a part of that creation. You don't want to be a part of that initiative for whatever reason. It's just not a part of what you do. And with the Page of Pentacles reversed, you may be pulling out, divesting, moving on, substituting or accepting an alternative to what's going on there. We don't have to lose friends and family members over this. We don't have to do this in a way where we're cutting a huge swath of destruction. But I feel with the Page of Pentacles reversed, some folks may not necessarily, know what they would be able to do without you. But, you can always, again, give them your blessing to find an alternative to you as well and seek another source. As we get onto your challenge, right? We talk about what you're challenged to pay attention to. Well, you've got the Six of Cups in reverse. And so this is about cleaning your slate, Virgo. This is about getting rid of a lot of things that have maybe been stuck on you, attached to you, things you've been carrying that have been either, stories, narratives, old stuff from, either a financial past or a social past. And your challenge is to be able to let it go, especially because the Six of Cups reversed as a challenge can sometimes, show that we don't have to finish all unfinished business. We really don't. We don't have, sometimes business is finished because it's not going anywhere. Sometimes the closure comes from the fact that you just can't do it anymore. And with the Six of Cups reversed, changing that, purging that, is also allowing for more room, right? We are making room for new things to come into our space, new things to come into our lives by cleaning our plate, cleaning our slate. With the Six of Cups reversed, you may be moving on from things faster than other people are ready to move on themselves or let them move on, and that might feel a bit weird. Again, detached compassion, and it's all about who's ready to do what with their journey. As we get on to your relationships with love and romance and partnerships, well, you've got the Three of Swords upright. And I do feel a lot of you may find that, this week 2 energy, some of you may be having to deliver some difficult news to either a partner or somebody you're seeing about maybe something that you cannot do or cannot be a part of anymore. Or maybe something that that's not where you want to go in this union or in this relationship. Or some of you who are maybe just dating and not in a relationship yet, maybe even turning somebody down or cutting somebody loose and just ending that experience. The Three of Swords, I really get the impression that you are the one actually doing that. It's your decision. Now, of course, if a person's disappointed or they feel hurt or whatever, again, be as kind and as gracious as possible. This may be a situation where you have to fess up about something you are not interested in doing, or something that you cannot in good conscience do in your own integrity, but that your partner may think is very important. It could be a value clash. It could be something that you are choosing not to do anymore, even, but they have, you're allowing them to do it, but maybe it hurts them because they want you to be a part of it with them. It's not that we have to be entangled in every space of every relationship, but calling some of your energy back, reserving some space for yourself might not feel exactly all too comfortable an adjustment for a partner to go through. So make sure, again, compassion and patience as you go through delivering that news. So that's what I've got for you, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.